little story about why location is so incredibly important, and it's really tough when buyers don't listen. So, a few years ago, I represented a seller who purchased this property with another agent, and he had been attending the university here in Rolla and decided to put his home on the market. He purchased it because he didn't want to live on campus and he wanted to start his investment portfolio, which is a great idea. So, he had students that roommate with him, he charged rent, collected some money, and it was a great way to cover the mortgage and make some extra money. The house was adorable. He had done some renovations on the outside. He made the inside look amazing. He did a lot of improvements. Everything about the house was so great. And I was like, this house is going to sell really fast. But when I arrived and I had to go down his very short, cramped driveway because Missouri Department of Transportation had widened the street, and doing so really gave him very much a short driveway. And this short driveway was not level, it was very sloped right into the house, and it was scary. When I got there, I thought, oh my gosh, should I park in this driveway? But there's a lot of traffic behind me. I got to pull in, and you're literally like this in your car. And it was, my heart was racing, put the emergency brake on. I get out and I'm like, hey, am I going to be able to back out? He's like, oh, you'll be fine. I said, well, where do you park? He said, well, I always just pull right into the garage. I said, well, where do your roommates park? Well, they utilize the street over and walk over to the house. And I thought, this is going to be a much more difficult sell than I had anticipated. So, long story short, everybody loved the house. The buyer's agents all loved the house. The buyers all loved the house, but they hated the driveway. I talked to Missouri Department of Transportation and to the city and different contractors. Where could we shove a little bit more width for parking and maybe a little bit less steep of a driveway? There was just no way to do it. There wasn't enough space between the houses. It just wasn't going to work. So the 6 months listing, we had lots of showings. We didn't get it under contract, and then we extended it. And finally, another buyer came along and was okay with the driveway. Every time I drive by that house and I see how this owner parks in the driveway, he does not park into the driveway. He parks at the top where it's level. So don't make the mistake of buying a home without really understanding how things are going to work out when you go to sell it. Location is so incredibly important. Although I'm grateful that my seller was able to find a buyer who didn't mind that, but it was obviously a big issue for a lot of people. So it's something to always to think about. When we say location matters, it can really hinder the time frame of your sale.